Today we're cruising through a neighborhood here in Encinitas. It is one of the larger, new-ish, within the last 20 years, master plan communities here in Encinitas. It's called Encinitas Ranch. It used to be Ecke land. The Ecke family has a lot of history here in Encinitas. There's a school named after them. There's a bunch of other stuff. So if you hear that name, you think Encinitas. But this used to be all their land. About early 2000s, this whole community got built out. There's about 6 different little sections of this community. We're gonna cruise through kind of the biggest one. It's like the Mesa area of it. There's a few more on the other side of Leucadia Boulevard. We'll kind of go over that real quick, but we're in Encinitas Ranch. So let's go check it out right now.
Hello, hello, I'm Cassidy Lewis.
I'm Chris Erickson.
And we are both realtors here in North County, San Diego. And this is where you come for all things North County. We're dropping new videos every single week on everything there is to know about North County. Neighborhoods, things to do, places to go, and everything in between. So if this is your first time here, definitely hit that subscribe button right down there. And if you're thinking about moving to North County, definitely hit us up, call us, text us, email us. We love helping people get to North County.
Like we said, today we're focusing on Encinitas Ranch. You can see the sign right behind us. There's a few little entrances here right in North County. We're gonna get into kind of the neighborhood and where we are, location, the houses, what you're gonna get up here, just the whole vibe of the neighborhood. We'll get into a few different little parts of that. This little area has, just to give you a few fun facts, it's got like 1,700 trees. So as you're cruising down the streets, you'll see a lot of trees, and they've had 20 years of growth. So it's a fairly mature neighborhood. There's 30 acres, so it's a pretty big swath of land. There's about 500 homes up here. Like we said, the bulk of it is in this area right behind us. We're actually standing right in front of the Encinitas Farm Lab. The neighborhood's kind of right back here.
Just to give you an idea of where Encinitas Ranch is, we are just east of the 5 off of Leucadia Boulevard. So within Encinitas, it is very centrally located. Beaches are only a 5-minute drive away. The shopping, restaurants, everything you really need to live in Encinitas is very close.
So if you are living in Encinitas, one of the things you're thinking about is the beaches. Where are you gonna cruise? If you cruise directly down Leucadia Boulevard, you're gonna end at one of my favorite beaches for surfing. Is called Beacons Beach. It's a cool little switchback going down there. It's an awesome beach. There's this tiny parking lot. So anytime there's a swell in the water, those early mornings, there's a lot of surfers out there. So parking might be tight. You could park north and south on Neptune, which is a one-way road going north. So just be aware of that if you are cruising down there. You also have access, if you're bringing the family out, Ponto, which is just a little bit to the north. It's actually right on the border of Encinitas and Carlsbad as well. Huge parking lot, killer beach, just because it's super easy access. You're literally parking in this kind of secret little parking lot, and then you're hopping on the beach right there. There's bathrooms right there. There's a ton of room to spread out, and there is the parking there. If you do get the annual pass, it's like $195 or 200 bucks, and you can park in that parking lot. If not, I think it's about 10 bucks a day or something like that. So if you're living here, definitely get the pass, because there's a few other parking lots that works for as well down in Cardiff.
Part of that convenience factor and the amenities you need to get to if you're living here in Encinitas Ranch is the Encinitas Ranch Town Center, which is just over the hill behind us here. And it's got your Targets, it's got your Best Buys, it's got your grocery store, and a bunch of other kind of chain locations and restaurants and stuff in there. But you've also got the Forum just to the north, which is technically in Carlsbad, but just right across the street. And there's a ton in there too, a little bit more high-end stores. You've got some, you got your Apple store, you got your Lululemon, you've got things like that in there, and also some good spots for dinner as well.
And then for restaurants and eating and all that kind of stuff, I think you have access to one of the best like little strips of restaurants and actually shops and that kind of stuff too. A lot of local stuff right on the 101 in Leucadia. Basically that whole strip, there's just a ton of restaurants. They're all on the west side of the street. They're doing a huge streetscape project to make parking and all that kind of stuff a little bit easier, but there are hundreds, maybe hundreds? Maybe. Thousands. Anyways, there's a lot of restaurants down there. Pizza spots, sushi spots, Mexican food, La Papagayo. There is some beer spots. There's just a ton of cool little restaurants to explore. And if you just want to go to the main drag where we were talking about earlier, like Encinitas Ranch Town Center, there's, like you said, a lot of chain restaurants, but up El Camino, there's a few hidden little gems. There's a killer little Thai spot kind of right next to, I think it's the Coles up there. tucked away in there. There's a sushi spot. There's Rosanna's, it's a pasta shop. You can take and bake. It's a really cool spot. So within a few of those other little shopping centers going up El Camino Real, there's some really cool local little spots to check out.
As with a lot of HOAs, Encinitas Ranch definitely has its share of events. They do happy hours, ice cream socials. They have Easter egg hunts during Easter. So they have a lot of events here in the local neighborhood.
And they also have Oktoberfest. It's been off for a few years, you know, due to everything that's going on. But if you are part of the community, right behind us is the Encinitas Farm Lab, actually. It's a big plot of land where they grow a bunch of vegetables and all kinds of fun stuff over there. But that's where they're having the Oktoberfest this year, so you can bring friends, family, obviously all the neighbors are invited.
And one other thing about the Farm Labs here is they have after-school care program for local kids in the area, and they also have camps and stuff during the summer.
So now we're cruising down one of the streets up here, Cypress Hills, for all you 90s hip hop fans. Getting into a little bit about the housing up here. All these houses were built right around early 2000s, so like 2003. Price-wise up here, so there's a lot of different sizes. They're all on the bigger footprint, which we'll chat about in a sec, but price-wise, you're kind of like starting point is gonna be right around that $2 million mark.
So the majority of the houses are this size, like 2,800 square feet and up. Even the single story houses are pretty large in this part of Encinitas Ranch. But there are a couple of niche little neighborhoods off Alexandria where you can get a house that's a little bit smaller and a little bit more affordable.
And as with a lot of these master plan communities, I would say most master plan communities, they're gonna have an HOA. It's no different up here. It's relatively, I mean, there's no, you know, community amenities, pools, all that kind of stuff, but it's like $200 a month for HOAs, which is pretty good. It's not bad at all.
And that goes towards community landscape and maintenance and a lot of those events we talked about.
And the Mellorews up here, I think they're set to expire like 2029. So there's not, you know, once they expire, you don't have them anymore, which is killer. So only like 7 more years from now, 8 more years, something like that. And there's a little, I don't know exactly how it works, but they have some sort of agreement with the golf course. If the golf course, because they pay Mellorews too as part of the whole plan when they built this all up, if they make extra, they contribute to the HOAs. So I believe this year they made some extra, so they put it towards the Mellorews within the community. So everybody's Mellorews are down a little bit this year. So it kind of fluctuates. There's a maximum they could obviously do as well.
So within Encinitas Ranch, there are a bunch of different view types, and that does drive the price in here a little bit too. The better view, the higher the price. And here you get golf course views, which a lot of these houses have because they're right on the Encinitas Ranch Golf Course. You get some mountain views here on the east side of the community, and the homes that are a little higher set up also get some killer ocean views out towards the west.
And some of them have no views, so that's kind of the fourth view too. But there are a lot of different options for that too. And like you said, it's kind of just gonna drive the price point up or down depending on what view you have. All right, so we're standing on the Encinitas Ranch Golf Course. It's my first time. I'm actually gonna go play it. It's been, it was a goal this year. What are we in, September?
Yep.
Finally gonna make it out
9
there.
months.
So you guys are gonna see some footage from that in a little bit. That's a lot of this Encinitas Ranch where we just were. This is on the other side of Leucadia Boulevard. But a lot of this, that community does surround the golf course over there, and they were kind of built at the same time. But also, right up here, surrounding the community is a bunch of trails. So as they were building the community, they put a bunch of trails kind of on the outskirts. I think it's a few mile loop around. I've done running that loop a few times. So there's a lot of those weaving in and out of Encinitas Ranch.
So within the Encinitas Ranch community, there are some little parks and playgrounds kind of throughout the community, but there are some pretty awesome parks around here. Olympus Park is just around the corner, which is a new, very cool park, very popular here at Encinitas. And then a little bit of a drive away is somewhat newer also, but Encinitas Community Park, which is epic. Huge park, skate park, playground, baseball fields, everything you need. So within Encinitas, there's a ton of parks you can get to.
And then right across the road, basically across the road from Encinitas Ranch, is the San Diego Botanic Gardens, right off Quail Gardens Drive. Recommend getting a season pass. You get a family pass because, yeah, it's a botanic garden. We mentioned it in the past. You know, there's really pretty, like, you know, little areas of throughout the world of all these cool plants and stuff. But there's also 2 kids areas. So there's one up by the upper parking lot, one down below. There's like this tree house. They have your little boat so you can race. They have building blocks, all kinds of fun stuff. You keep your kids entertained for quite a while.
Another cool part about being in Encinitas Ranch is the YMCA is just around the corner. And so they have gym amenities, they've got, you know, camps, they've got sports, they've got skate park, they've got a lot of really cool things over there at the YMCA.
But now it's time to golf. He's golfed here
I don't know how many
1,000 times.
Yeah, probably.
But it's gonna be my first time. So come on the journey. It's a gorgeous day here in Encinitas. Let's go swing some clubs.
So that's Encinitas Ranch, one of the cool communities here in Encinitas, kind of all centering around this great golf course that we just had the pleasure of playing. Killer views from here. If you're a golfer, this is a great community to be in, definitely. So definitely check it out.
Good. I was waiting for this guy. So Encinitas Ranch is, like we said, one of the newer master plan communities here, all centered around the golf course. Views, a lot of different kind of views. Ocean, you have the hills in the back, or just looking east, you have the golf course views. This is my first time out here. What'd you end up shooting, by the way?
Look, at least over 100. I picked up my ball.
But a few pars. We had a few pars out there today, so it was killer. My first time, loved it. Definitely, if you're around here, you're gonna be golfing here. JC Golf, you get a little bit, actually Encinitas residents get a little bit of discount too. So if you're living up here, that's great. So if you guys are thinking about moving to Encinitas, maybe it's Encinitas Ranch, maybe it's not, maybe it's just Encinitas as a whole. We have some other videos up there, so be sure to check those out. We have vlog style, we have kind of map style, everything in between, kind of a full tour of Encinitas. This is just one of the smaller neighborhoods. And if you are pondering it, you got some questions, hit us up, call, text, email, whatever is easiest for you. We got your back. We're moving here to North County, San Diego. We'll catch you next time.